You can do whatever you want.
All right.
But you can't slag me off away from interviewing me if I give you time. No, you know what I'm saying? No, I'm not. But I'm saying I always give you time. I'll always answer your questions. I'll never tell you can't have an interview. So,
Appreciate it.
all right?
You're right. People continue to kind of make it seem like you're the main person responsible.
This is what genuinely
on
what
this
happens.
issue.
But yeah, but you know, that's why it's important to have my say as well.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to go on the front foot.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell people like I've nothing to hide.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? So a process was followed. If you don't like the process, I'm really sorry. It's not my process. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know. You know, it's just important to make sure that people know that that process had a hearing.
Yeah.
You know, it had an incident dealt with. There was nothing brushed under the carpet. It wasn't that, oh, you know, you let this fight go on. I have a contract with fighters for a fight to take place where fighters are cleared to take part in a contest.
Right.
I can't cancel a fight in that situation when you have two cleared fighters cleared to take part in a contest.
Yeah.
So again, if you don't like the protocol and that schedule that took place, it's not my schedule. I don't put the laws in place. It was dealt with in a very short space of time with evidence and everything, and he was cleared to fight. So I keep asking the question to people.
Yeah.
People that, you know, that one journalist who you sort of not attack you, but I said, why was he cleared to fight? And one guy just said, well, maybe he produced evidence to satisfy the board. I went, oh, fucking hallelujah. I said, that's obviously what happened. I don't know what happened at the hearing. All I got was a call to say that he was clear to box.
Right.
So evidence that was presented was obviously enough to satisfy a panel.
Yeah. Right.
What happens from here? Dillian Whyte's got a very tough job because everybody presumes he's guilty, right? So he's now got to prove to everybody that he's not. And that's why you won't hear him say as much as he'd like to say, because he's been told by his legal team, not my legal team, by his legal team, this is so important, you've got to get this right. We've got to give evidence, we've got to get your name completely cleared everywhere for people to say.
Because there's even like defamation.
There's a lot of that. I mean, and people, you know, I saw another a website go, oh, we've had a legal letter from Dillian Whyte's team. I mean, it's obvious he's guilty. It's like, no, it might have been obvious that you said something that was incorrect. Like the Boxing Scene article that went out by Thomas Hauser was full of inaccuracies. A lot of it was correct, but there was a lot of inaccuracies. And I spoke to him last night, Boxing Scene, like, oh yeah, you know, I said, you know that a lot of what you said was incorrect. No, well, you know, Thomas is a lawyer, you know. I said, yeah, but how do you think it's the right to go out and just publish? Well, you had a right to reply. What, of a confidential case where the guy's not even allowed to comment?
Yeah.
It's not that he's not allowed to comment by his lawyers. The case with UCAD is confidential. He can't say anything because it will jeopardise his position. He's fuming. He's phoning, you know, and like it's a problem. He's got a problem that he's got to go and deal with now. Before the fight, it was a disaster. But understand that a process was followed. Again, if you don't like that process, it's not my process.
Yeah. Well, something that keeps popping up online as well, maybe you can clarify some of this. We didn't talk about this yesterday, but it was about the whole glove incident. Because Rivas's team now is saying that Dillian Whyte changed gloves and they weren't able to inspect.
So
what do you know about the gloves?
What I know is, which is probably about 80% of the story, because I was ringside and this was all going on, was he had a pair of gloves that he chose in the rules meeting. On the night, those gloves, I don't know, there was a problem with them, they weren't, I don't know, something weren't right. So he asked to change gloves, okay? Rivas, I believe, got the opportunity to wear those gloves, the same gloves that he was wearing, okay? The Board of Control, again, not Matchroom Boxing, the Board of Control, the WBC, overlooked this situation and let Dillian Whyte wear these gloves. They inspected the gloves, they cleared the gloves, and he wore them. Again, I'm really sorry. Like, speak to the WBC, speak to the British Boxing Board of Control if you want to know the answer to that question. Yeah. But I'm a promoter of an event where a commission and a governing body operates the rules, right? Yeah. So, and it wasn't a case of he just found these gloves in the bottom of the thing and just slipped them on and no one knew about it, and I couldn't believe it, he just came out. No, these gloves were cleared and approved by the WBC and the British Boxing Board of Control.
Okay.
So,
all right.